Welcome to this, the first of 8 short presentations targeted at enterprise architects, business analysts, and anyone who's involved in the creation of system strategies. For this presentation, we assume no prior knowledge. However, it should be noted that we are targeting this at postgraduates or those experienced in the business domain. Hence, we will assume a minimum appreciation of some common business terms. Our publication, Enterprise Systems Architecture, Aligning Organizational Business Operating Models to Technology Landscapes, offers a good companion to this presentation. Our bias is towards delivering information systems and the supporting strategies. We hope to provide value from this presentation and, as always, appreciate any feedback. On that note, let's begin. The Enterprise Systems Architecture Stack is a visual layered representation of the numerous things which facilitate the understanding of the enterprise, with its reason to exist, deliver value, and ultimately acts as a tool to drive the control, inform, and direct model for technology services. The two top layers, as one would expect, are very business-centric, with a focus on the operational and process nature of the organization. The layers below represent the enablers to meet the two layers above, complemented with a wrapper of hygiene and value-adding services, examples of which are business contingency planning, security, and service delivery. The order, bar the BOM, which we refer to as layer 0, are not fixed in stone and should be seen as interchangeable, driven by the nature of the organisation and the services it delivers or derives value from. The stack can be further decomposed to provide additional information which users can explore or expand for their organisation. The benefits of the stack are numerous, providing a single unified view or a tick list of the ecosystem of technology, one in which we can control any new introductions or changes, also providing the lens for any impact analysis. The stack allows us to inform stakeholders and interested parties whilst directing the technology agenda in line with the needs of the business and its operating environment. It is very important to differentiate between a business operating model and a business model. For a business model is very much focused on the way the organisation should or is structured to generate revenues, make profits, or deliver its charter from both its internal and external operations. A business operating model, on the other hand, is the operational aspects which support the business model in delivering these outcomes. The business operating model encapsulates the dynamics the organisation operates in, both internally and externally. We observe that the 8 layers can be treated and worked on individually, where each layer has its own characteristics, line of sight, sets of artifacts, value streams, and outcomes. It, however, must also be noted that all of these layers are interconnected. And with the above in mind, now let's turn our attention to level 0, the business operating model, or the BOM. To understand and analyse the BOM, we divide the layer into 2 segments. Where on the left we highlight the things that affect the organisation and its operations, things that will need to be considered. These considerations allow us to understand operational characteristics and the various drivers, behaviours and practices which drive the model of operation to deliver the organisational outcomes. On the right hand side we provide a set of well-known, well-documented and well-understood models and tools. These models and tools aid our analysis both of the industry and of the organisation. They also provide valuable insights into our organisation, its value streams and its general direction. Let's start by turning our attention to the left side of the business operating model, that is the considerations. Considerations, key areas of interest and focal points. When exploring the business operating model, one should consider various factors and characteristics that are applicable both to the industry or the market your organisation both competes and operates in. The graphic we present is a simple framework for considerations. It's a starting point, enabling the setting of priorities for analysis, and should not be used to limit or restrict any analysis, but used to expand on. Next, we're going to look at each column and discuss some of the features, characteristics or areas one can explore when looking at the business operating model. It was Benjamin Franklin who once famously said that by failing to prepare, you're actually preparing to fail. Now, with that in mind, let's turn our attentions to some external forces and industry shapers. Organisations have no control over external forces. These external forces, events and entities, can shape and drive the industry. However, when analysed, can enable organisations to plan and mitigate possible potential risk reductions or any shortcomings in their operating models. By analysing and in some cases assigning resources to possible scenarios, organisations, subject to the appetite for risk, can prepare best case responses to what if situations. These left field events do arise, and numerous examples do exist of industry disruptors and shapers. The biggest example at present is the net zero carbon reduction agenda, which affects the travel and supply chain industries more so. Or even the move to digital currency, that is the evolution of payments from the physical exchange of tokens to a more digital real-time exchange, prompted by distributed technology innovations. These disruptors do happen, and organisations do plan and prepare for some of these scenarios. However, not everything can be planned for. Industry shapers and external forces can be found in many areas, examples of which are central government, regional governments, those governments that develop and enforce laws that seek to protect individuals and their rights and their privacies. We have industry regulators who wish to promote fair play and protect the industry, both its suppliers and buyers. We also have the markets themselves, with new entrants and innovations shaping the trajectory of the industry. And then there are influential individuals who have a unique position driven by financing or social following that enables them to shape both demand and supply. And then, of course, there's the competitors, where we find both global and locally. All of these put together can shape and drive the industry and need to be considered when analysing the business operating model. No organisation remains static, and for this reason alone there will always be a driver that pushes for change in either structures, processes or transformation in business models. These external and internal forces that drive the organisation to change, grow and evolve may result in operational trajectory being realigned and driving organisational structural changes for reasons such as efficiency or cost. There are numerous drivers where change can stem from. Examples of these multitude of sources are organisational strategy, the industry, the operational climate, or even state disruptors. We may find that a strategy does not exist, hence it needs to be developed. And if it does exist, it may need to be modified or refreshed to encapsulate some of the new variables that we're seeing in our industry. We may also find that the industry dynamics have changed. We may have a new entrant that has changed the rules of the game, and we may need to change our operational model. Then the climate we operate in. We may, for example, be experiencing an ageing workforce, and from that we can observe that we will have skill shortages moving forward, and we may need to accommodate for these shortages. And then there are the threats from other organisations or even state disruptors that we may need to consider. A quick win, and often one of the easiest areas to analyse, is that of the enterprise structure, for it is often well documented and can be extrapolated from the organisational charts and the various hierarchies within the divisions. The larger the organisation, the more complex the components, the workflows, communications, interconnections, and in essence the internal technology ecosystem. By breaking down the top level structures to individual lines of business, we can analyse the impact of any change within our system capabilities moving forward. The business model a company adopts or wishes to move to is fundamental when exploring the services and capabilities that company requires to service that business model. Typical business models are B2B, B2C, C2B and C2C. Each one of these will require a specific mode of operation and a specific set of capabilities to achieve its outcomes. It is often said that data and information is the new oil, which when extracted and purified can provide valuable insights that drive operational efficiencies, and through further analysis of consumer behaviours and trends can also result in business growth. The ability to turn data into insights can facilitate the informed decisions and drive actions that can add value to any organisation. Financial management provides a unique lens on the organisation and the costs of providing its services. Much of the information is readily available in the form of company accounts, both internal and external reports, historical budgets and actuals against those budgets. Through financial management, we can understand the value in relation to the cost of delivering business systems and capabilities. It is important to know who controls the organisational purse strings and the levers required to release funding. Requests for funding by lines of business for systems capabilities and services, especially in large organisations, can highlight inefficiencies, especially when these services exist in other parts of the organisation. So far we have covered many of the areas that need to be analysed when looking at the business operating model. The left side, the verticals. Now we turn our attention to the numerous tools and models that are available to us for analysis, both of the industry and of our organisation. When analysing the business operating model and trying to understand the dynamics of one's organisation, there are numerous tools and frameworks that are readily available for you to use. These tools and frameworks are well documented, publicly available, and in many cases have stood the test of time. Our recommendation when using these models is to avoid any major assumptions and where possible stick to facts, unless of course you are conducting what-if scenario planning. As previously stated, when analysing the business operating model, there are numerous tools and methods available for you to use. We now turn our attention to 6 of the most popular methods. Each one of these is well documented, and a quick search on the web will enable you to find numerous documents, including templates that you can reuse for your analysis. The business model canvas, as the name suggests, is a structured canvas. Its aim is to stimulate creativity. It is best suited for the analysis and development of both existing and new business models. Templates of a blank canvas are readily available for download from the author's website and provides a great tool to explore 9 key areas of your organisation to provide insights into your existing business models. The business model canvas provides you a blank sheet, there to stimulate creativity, 9 specific areas for you to focus on. Here are some examples within those 9 areas that you may want to consider. Porter's value chain is well documented, providing a lens on the support and primary business processes, starting with a core that represents a set of activities that an organisation carries out to create value. This general purpose value chain allows companies to examine all of their activities and see how they are connected, and also measure performance. Through the value chain, we seek to provide insights into the effectiveness of numerous chain of activities. When broken down, we can explore the effectiveness of each value stream. When aggregated and compared with similar organisations, we can analyse, measure existing activities that provide us with a competitive advantage or that competitive edge which we wish to maintain moving forward. Here are some examples of activities that, when dissected, can be further analysed and categorised to explore our competitive advantage. Pest is well documented. A simple search on the web will highlight the numerous case studies that illustrate the power of this tool. PEST is the acronym for Political, Economic, Social and Technical. It provides a structured view to explore our organisation and the ability to operate effectively in our given markets. Using these 4 variables, we shine a light on some key areas that we as an organisation should consider when exploring existing and new markets. The 7S framework was created by the management consultancy McKinsey. It is well established and presents us with 7 key areas to explore. These areas enable us to understand our organisation. So how would we use this 7S framework? If we were to break this down into steps, we would say the first thing we would do is analyse the current situation. That is the current as-is position, both in terms of capacity and characteristics. Then we would determine the ideal situation, the target state. Once we've analysed the as-is and we've defined the target we wish to achieve, we would then develop a realisation plan. Obviously, once we've developed this plan, we would test it, and then we would formally execute that plan. Once we've executed the plan, we will then revisit our defined objectives and our goals periodically to see how we're progressing. The most popular tool used by most management consultants, business analysts and analysts in general is that of SWOT, which stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities and Threats. This tool is well documented and numerous examples can be found and case studies on the web. The balanced scorecard is a favourite of many program and project managers. It is a well documented tool which enables the definition and production of key performance indicators for success. These key performance indicators, or KPIs, can be either in the business processes, it could be customer perspectives, financial perspective, or learning and growth. In essence, it enables us to prioritise both projects, products and services. We have provided you with a quick tour and some examples of the popular business models that are available for you to use for analysis of your business and the competitive position of that business. However, we should also add that there are numerous models out there that you may want to explore. These models may be better suited for your business, the business model you operate, or the country or the markets you operate in. So please do look at additional models. We hope we have shown you why understanding your business operating model is important, especially when you are preparing a technology strategy or just trying to understand your business that much better. By analysing and understanding the various components of the business and the environment that you operate in, you can plan for any drivers or industry initiatives that will impact the technology ecosystem moving forward. Here's something to think about before we move on to our final slide. We are now coming to the end of our presentation, and as a quick recap, let's step back and look at what we've explored. We've explored the business operating model and the 2 sides of the business operating model. On the left hand side, we've introduced something called considerations, and these are basically the internal characteristics of your business, the things that you should be looking at. On the right hand side, we introduced a set of tools and methods that are popular and also well documented, and because they are well documented, we encourage you to go and investigate these further. These tools and models allow you to understand the characteristics of your organisation and the markets you're operating in. We have now come to the end of our presentation. We hope you have enjoyed the material that was presented to you, and if you did enjoy it, please do not hesitate in sharing and liking this video. The next slide we present you with is our contact details, and if you wish to contact us, please do not hesitate in doing so. We welcome any constructive feedback, and again we thank you for watching this video.